So this concept of cheating. So Chris Brown famously said, quote unquote, "These hoes ain't loyal."
You've been saying that all day.
Okay, call it. Lil Wayne weighed in on that as well. We all know let's just disclaimer, we don't think cheating, we don't condone cheating. It's not cool to cheat. But we all understand that men are visual creatures and they're a little bit more prone to cheat. Men, whether it's because girl's got a fat whatever, or she's got some big old whatever, or he's drunk. Men, visual creatures, they are quote unquote more likely to cheat. Okay.
The stats back that up, but obviously the guys in the red pill community are all convinced that the stats are all BS because women even lie in the surveys.
Well, then here's the thing. What do you think drives women to cheat? Is it sexual? Is it emotional? Is it boredom? Is there no excitement? Is he not paying attention to her? Is it lack of attention? What do you think drives women to cheat? You want to start with this, Kendra?
I think women cheat for a lot of different reasons, but I think the reason that's never really explored is because she can. And if she thinks she can get away with it, she'll do it. If she doesn't respect her relationship, doesn't respect the man that she's with for whatever reason, maybe she never respected him, maybe she lost respect, whatever the case might be. Because here's why I say what I say. Because when you hear women across social media talk about cheating and talking about when women cheat, one of the first things that they say as a brag is, we get away with it. We cheat better than you guys because we're slicker than you guys. And we can get away with it. So when we cheat, you guys don't know.
Yeah, women are never out of the game. That's why women typically recover so much quicker, is because they're always, especially if they're beautiful, they're always getting hit on. But they always say, hey, I'm married or I have a boyfriend. But it's the day they're single, they can just start saying yes. Whereas a guy that's maybe been with this same woman for 2 or 3 years, he's rusty. His game is going to be off. It takes some time for him to have his confidence back.
He's rusty.
Yeah. it takes guys a lot longer to get back into the dating world.
Nat, I know you're dying to weigh in on this.
Yeah, I wouldn't say a woman cheats just because she can. Like, I don't go kill someone just because I can. Like, that's not a reason.
So you're equating murder to cheating.
Well, I'm equating that you're doing something because you can do it. Like, oh, because I have access to do it, I can do it. I wouldn't say that's why women cheat. I would believe that women cheat because they're looking for something, because they're feeling that they're not getting something in an area. And I think one of your favorite P's is a man's lack of presence. I think that is a strong reason why women would cheat, is because they don't feel like their man is there with them. I think that presence covers a lot of different things. If it's physically, if it's mentally, if it's emotionally. I think when you get to be present with your woman, you feel how she's feeling, and you're able to adjust and make certain things change so that she feels included and that you're there for her.
Okay.
As long as she feels heard and understood.
The only pushback I got, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I want to agree with what you're saying. When you lose respect for your partner, you kind of, that's where you start seeing people go off in different stuff. And I kind of want to say respect and a little bit of fear in the same breath. Because if you respect somebody, it's kind of like a tiny bit of like fear where you're like, I'm not going to do this because
I don't want to lose them.
I don't want to, I'm scared.
So explain this to me if you would, Fosh. You're equating respect and fear.
I kind of feel like a little bit of them go hand in hand. Say, for instance, okay, you're a man and takes care of you and he's doing everything for you. If you respect him, a little bit of you is going to be a little afraid that, okay, I'm not, if I fuck this up, what am I going to do? You know, like that's what I would think.
And okay, so what I want to ask you, and I appreciate, is it what's going to happen with our relationship, or what's going to happen with my life? Because now I don't have a man taking care of me, paying the bills, all that kind of stuff. What is the fear of?
It's both.
Yeah.
For me.
Because there's also a fear of the lack of covering from that man.
Lack of covering?
Covering. And it's not just financial. When you're a woman in a relationship for real and not 1 foot in, 1 foot out looking a monkey branch to another guy, when you're in the relationship with that man for real, you need and you want and you desire his covering and you fear losing it. his provision, you fear the loss of his problem solving, because I teach that on my channel. Men do 4 things basic: provision, they problem solve, they protect, they procreate. And that procreation isn't just sex, it's affection and love and all of that other stuff, the emotional piece. Men do that one-to-one in relationships, and they do it communally in one form or another. If you're a woman in a relationship for real with your man, you want all 4 of those things, and you fear the loss of them, because that covering, that's not just a bill. You can, even if you didn't work before, you can figure out something to do to get some money. But men are more than money. So men are, who's going to problem solve for me when I have an issue and I need to bring it to my husband? This doesn't mean that I'm stupid and can't figure my life out, but it also means 2 heads are better than 1. He's going to look at a situation much differently than I'm going to look at the situation. So if I bring something to him, babe, do you think this is a good idea if I do such and such in my career or whatever? And he says, no, I don't think that's a good idea. He's going to say, why? I don't think that's a good idea from this angle, that angle, this angle. And he's thought about that from a masculine perspective in a way that I didn't think of it. And he's going to bring those ideas to me, something we can weigh and talk about. His protection, like I said, don't need a bulldog, need a protector. Men's protection is often prevention of a problem to begin with. They prevent, just by their structure and the way that they have things set up, is meant to prevent a lot of different harm, physical, mental, all of these other things. Because when your man want to protect you, he don't just want to protect you physically. He want to protect your heart. He want to protect you emotionally. He want to protect you from all different kinds of harm, whatever is in his ability to protect. And when he's procreating with you, he's not only having sex with you, but he's also giving you that emotional piece of him. He's giving you that love from him. So I agree with her when she says you fear it. You fear the loss of that man's covering because you feel it immediately.
And that's why to me, by the way, we're going to touch on the 4 Ps and SOS and everything you talk about for sure. That's what kind of struck out to me was what Fosh was saying, is that respect and fear. Because just think about it, traditional norms, right, for a second. If a man cheats, let's just say, in a traditional sense, what does he lose if his wife leaves him? Okay, he's going to lose his woman, his wife, his love, whatever, potentially divorce down the road, right? He could lose that. A woman, she's going to lose the provider, protector, all that, but now she potentially might be out on herself. Like if the man is the worker, bringing home the bacon, the provider, and I'm not even talking about a marriage, divorce, and you lose all your stuff. Like he's losing just the woman. She's losing the man and the house, the roof over her head, all that. So that's kind of what my point is, that it's so much worse or so much astronomical more for a woman to cheat because she has more to lose. Whereas a man, he might be brokenhearted, no doubt, but she might end up being brokenhearted and homeless.
I agree.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Coach, you want to weigh in on this?
Well, because I'm dealing with a lot of guys that are either married or they're in a relationship that's gone sideways, or the woman doesn't want to be with them anymore. And I see the same 2 reasons. And a big complaint that women have is that he was romantic at first year or 2 we're dating, and then it's like, we don't go out, we don't do anything anymore. And
he gets comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't date and court your wife or your girlfriend, eventually some other guy is going to come along and do that for you. Whether she breaks up with you and starts dating somebody else, or she has no character and she'll just start talking to other guys and giving out her number when she's with you. And then when she lines up your replacement, then she dips and then dumps the guy. He didn't see it coming. And then the next week she's in a relationship with some other guy because she lined him up long before. And so the big things I talk about in the phone sessions while I'm doing with guys is most of the time they stop dating and courting. It's like, when's the last time you guys went out on a date? And they're like, I think it was like 8 months ago. And it's like, that's not going to work. And if you're married, because it just happens slowly. Hey, let's get some pizza and some 2-liter bottles of soda, and we'll put a movie in and, distract the kids, and hopefully we'll put them to bed early because they'll get tired, and then maybe we can have a little sexy time. And it's just the same dull, boring routine. And the other big problem is the woman doesn't feel heard and understood, either because he doesn't take the time to ask or to make her feel like he actually cares what's going on in her life or what her feelings are, or when she's just, because women tend to talk about their problems and solve them by talking about them. The guy's trying to give her solutions and trying to solve her problems when she just really wants them to listen and be present with her. And so oftentimes what I'll teach guys to do is, like, if you're always inclined to give her advice and then she gets pissed off and says, "You're not listening to me," ask her, "Do you want me just to listen or do you want my advice?" And most of the time women will tell you. And so the two biggest things, they don't date. So the courtship, it's, one of the chapters in my book is a courtship never ends.
Yep.
And that's a big mistake guys do, is they're like, "Hey, well, we're married, we got a 30-year mortgage, we got kids." It's like, she's not going anywhere. I shouldn't have to do these things anymore. That was part of the dating phase. It's like women want to be in a love story, and when the love story stops, again, it's like if it goes on long enough, most women eventually will leave.
So if you like that clip, click right here to watch another, or if you want to watch the entire Soscast, click right here.